What's going on, Dragon Ballers? We're here with Nick Sundstrom. He's got an update for you guys for the Skilless Veggie decks. We have like a complete color change. So, Nick, when did you pick the deck back up, and like what was the process of changing it around?
So the process of changing it around was switching from red to yellow. And I thought of this change when the green-yellow Crillon dual color card came out. I liked it. I liked the fact that it lets your opponent discard. I like those kind of cards. I also thought that the new yellow Cauliflas were good targets for Kaaba because you're going aggro and you can tap down your opponent's energy so they can't defend against your swings.
Gotcha. So now instead of bringing out the red Cauliflas, we're bringing out the yellow Cauliflas. So let's just get into the deck, I guess. So we're playing Kid Goku. I mean, not a lot of people playing this anymore, but it's still like super OP. Like you just draw crazy hands.
Yeah, I feel like the deck can keep up with Broly ape hands, which can get huge. This just like they don't have an easy way to out your Kid Goku without monkeying it to defense and then swinging over it, which takes them like they usually wouldn't do it until their turn 3. So you at least get 2 balls out of it.
Yeah, and the fact like your 30Ks, like the monkeys don't just easily combo out of those, like that's pretty solid too.
So we got 4 Gokus.
The one lonely SPR.
Yeah, Joey wouldn't let me use his shiny ones for the video.
Oh my goodness.
And then we play 6 balls.
So 10 total.
Yeah, because we don't play the Dende or Sorbet to search it because I feel like I was originally going to play the dual colors in here, and like I still can. So like the thought was if I needed to charge a dual color turn 1, like I would see a ball. Right now I don't have dual colors in here, but there is like things we could cut for dual colors.
Yeah, like realistically this is like an aggro deck, so you're tapping out like the first 3 to 4 turns of the game. So we kind of realized dual colors weren't that great. Plus if you play the dual colors you can't play your Kid Goku turn 1. The other thing too is like, yeah, you're tapping out turns 1, 2, and 3. You'd rather see a ball than have to like pay an energy to search it, so this makes a lot more sense for right now.
We play 2 Crillon.
Just 2?
Yeah, just 2 because we don't max out on 20Ks. It's just like a good plan B option if you don't have 2 green energies to charge for a Kaaba or just like late game. And it also outs like Crisis Crusher versus your like Kid Goku.
Gotcha. Yeah, so they can't keep sniping it off.
Yeah.
And there's a way better 2-drop play in the deck, but we'll get there later.
We play 3 2-drop vanillas and 2 30Ks.
So it's definitely a small Skilless package for a Skilless deck, so you gotta talk about this one a little bit.
So my thought process is like I don't want to clog my hand with vanillas, but like you need enough where you can see them to awaken at 6 because a lot of the times people don't let you get down to 4 to awaken. I feel like people try to like grind out the game and like my resources and pick off my battle cards instead of going for my life. But your Kid Goku can bring it out from the deck. So like as long as you can bring one out, even if you combo it away or they clear it, then you can still awaken early.
Okay, so this usually works out pretty well. Like you'll usually see 1 by the time you're at 6 life for the most part.
Yeah, so I'll usually see 1. If not, I can bring one out from the deck. But like typically turn 1 you play your Kid Goku, then turn 2 you search a second Dragon Ball to thin your deck out, and then you would play Kaaba. If you don't have Kaaba, that's when you would want to play one of these or one of these from your deck. If these aren't in your deck, because you only play 2, you can bring this out, and then like you still have your Krillin target.
Gotcha, yes. I mean, there's a better turn 2 play, so we'll get to that as we go on.
I play a 1-of Surprise Attack Frieza.
This card's always a 1-of in Skilless, and I know you like it a lot, so I guess you can talk about it.
It's just so free because you have a 30K that essentially can swing over almost any battle card where your opponent's not going to combo. And then you can just play this down for no energy, and then it's a crit swing at your opponent's life. So it doesn't give them any advantage. It gives you more board presence. I guess that's it.
Yeah, I mean, it works well in an aggro deck, especially when you do need to clear your opponent's battle cards. You get a little bit more free presence, and that crit is always going to be pretty good, so.
Then we play the 4 Saiyan Teamwork Kaaba, the Heart and Soul.
So this is the OP2 drop. This is the play you always want on turn 2 in pretty much every matchup, right?
Yeah.
So real quick, because people might not have seen this card in a while, the last time we did an update actually on this deck was 5 months ago. So this guy says when you play him, you get to look at 10 cards deep into your deck, play any Caulifla that you see, or add any Kale from your deck to your hand, and he reduces the green cost or non-specified cost of any Caulifla and Kale in your hand. So he doesn't make the yellow ones free, but he makes the green ones free. So that's pretty solid. Are there any matches where you wouldn't want this turn 2, or like pretty much always this guy turn 2?
Pretty much always this guy turn 2, unless like if you don't want to awaken your opponent super fast, like you might want to bring out a 30k. But most of the time, you would do this turn 2 if you have it.
Yeah, especially if you're playing against like a self-awakening deck.
Yeah. And then his targets, we play 3 green Kale. She's kind of lackluster. Like, I don't get into like grindy games where I need her to draw more cards and like that crit pressure. She's more so just like energy or like a free 5k if I whiff off of the Cauliflas, which I typically don't because there's 12 targets for the Kaaba. But most of the time she ends up getting charged. If you play her late game, it's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, if you have 2 Kaabas on the board and play her for 2, that's pretty good. But other than that, it doesn't happen too much.
Yeah. And then here's the targets. So we play 4 of the green ones. So if you have 2 Kaabas on the board, you can play her for free. When you play her, regardless, she takes a life. So it's good for like cheap plays late game when you want to see more cards, when you're going for a game and you're just trying to get yourself down to 1 to have the maximum amount of card value. And then we play 4 of the 2-drop yellow Caulifla, another self-awakener. So Kaaba can reduce the energy cost of her down to 1 yellow because he can't get rid of that yellow specified cost. You play her, she's another self-awakener. So if your opponent's trying to stall you, you have 8 self-awakeners that you can bring out off of the Kaaba, and they can also become 1-drops or free.
And I don't know about you, but I feel like in an aggro deck, tapping out energy is pretty broken.
Yeah, so like you can play Kaaba, and then you can bring her out, and then take a life, potentially awaken, and tap your opponent's energy down. So when they, like against Yellow Broly, if they have 2 energy up, you can tap 1 down, so they need a bean or it's a Xenobun if they want to play an ape against you.
Right, you make it a little bit harder for them.
Yeah. The main target you want to hit if you don't need to self-awaken is Caulifla, the Awakened Sister.
Man, playing this out of the deck is so broken.
Yeah, so you play her for free with your Kaaba. She's a 20k double striker and can rest a battle card or an energy. Most of the time, you're resting your opponent's energy, unless they're tapped out and they have like a random weenie on the board to get rid of.
I got some other random cards. That's pretty much the whole Veggie engine, right?
Yeah, that is the whole Veggie engine. You can also evolve her over the 2-drop. So like if you whiff this one and you play her and you have her in your hand, you can rest an opponent's energy. If you have an extra energy up, then you can also evolve over her when you're like comboing this over something else to push for damage. Evolve over her, tap another energy or tap another battle card, and then go in with a double strike.
Do you think this is pretty much just strictly better than the red engine?
I think so, because the red engine, you had to play the 2-drop Kale that's red and the impeccable Kaaba. So like you were relying on hitting specifically the 4 red Cauliflas, and then that needed to hit another U6 card.
It's like a little less consistent.
Yeah. It's also like clunkier because you typically didn't want to draw the red cards. Like if I draw yellow, like it's okay because she's 1 cost and then like I can combo her over this.
So on to the rest of the deck.
Yeah. We play 1 source of power.
A little random, no?
It is a little random. It's just 1 more self-awakener. When I built this deck, it was like 2 weeks before the Radas for the ban list, so it's like more so versus Shenron and Paranga. I figured it's a good card to leave in. It's 2 swings, it's 20k, It's just a good card all around for any yellow deck. And then we play 4 super combos.
Obvious.
Yep. We play 3 power bursts.
Yep.
We play 1-dimensional Banisher Fu. So this guy gets rid of like just big threats. I feel like the deck can go super wide where like if your opponent has multiple battle cards, Mass Saiyan, like you don't necessarily need Mass Saiyan, you'd rather get rid of like a big threat. Or like just like having an extra 1 energy double striker for game is good.
Gotcha. Now the rest of the overall package is kind of interesting, so let's see it.
Yeah, so this card is my favorite card in the deck. Super Saiyan 3 Attack Team Trunks. So you overwhelm it for no energy. They're just 3 cards out of the drop, which is fairly easy with the size of your like hand typically. You just combo into something else, play it, it's free crit. Your leader on the back side, you draw 2, you discard 1, so that's already 1 card towards an overwhelm. So you overwhelm him for free, he has base crit. When you swing, you can activate Battle Warp a card from your hand and give it double strike. So it's double strike crit. So you can use him to bring your opponent from 3 down to 2 by just comboing, like if you have a 30k on the board, like combo everything and warp that card. So that way they go down to 1 and then you have a 30k and then you just throw a bunch of 4-star balls down on that because that can get wicked huge.
Almost like this deck's version of Mirror Champa.
Yeah.
And then the last overwhelm card?
The last overwhelm card is the boss monster, Fu the Dark Banisher. So with the amount of board presence you can create in the first 3 turns, playing this on the 4th turn, like if they have Xenobind, if they have any negates, if they have just like any counter plays, just anything, they warp more cards and you already have, like this would be like your 5th battle card typically. So they just have to defend against too much that they can't handle it.
Nice. So overall, that's pretty much the deck. I still think it's like one of the more busted decks of the game as far as aggro goes. So Nick, any final shout outs you want to get out there?
Shout out to Joey because we're here recording this video.
Yay.
And that is it.
All right, awesome, man. Thank you.